Hello, and welcome to Season 3, Race 10 of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode. We're here in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, and by just barely, I've edged out Lando Norris for the pole of the British Grand Prix. George Russell in third, Alexander Albon is fourth. Sainz, Verstappen, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Bottas, and Perez round out the top 10 with Jamie Chadwick having one of her best qualifying efforts of the season in 11th, just barely missing out on the top 10. So we take a look at the drivers' standings following the Austrian Grand Prix. I lead by 41 points over Russell and 43 over Norris. The big gainer was Charles Leclerc after his podium finish in the Austrian Grand Prix and after the up and down weekend that Mercedes had. On the constructor side, Rockstar Energy Racing and Ferrari are tied with Mercedes for the lead. Not tied with Mercedes for the lead. We're tied for second with Mercedes in the lead by 33 points. Easy for me to say. Alright, so the good news is that the weather for the race is pretty dry. Cloudy, but dry. Upgrade-wise, we have one ultimate upgrade already set to come in. You can take a look at the vehicle performance chart. We shot up a little bit. Everyone's still gaining. Haas is actually fourth. And Felipe Drugovich did show some speed in practice, even though he qualified, I think, like 13th or something, 14th maybe. So let's take a look and see what I can get here for 1,797 points. I can get that from the arrow side. I guess I'll go with this available aerodynamic part here. So this won't come in for France. This will come in hopefully in time for Hungary, and then the other part will come in time for, I think, Spa. Right before the summer break. So we're going to be, on the upgrade front, we're going to be stagnant for a few races here, but after that we should see some more gains. But yeah, that's where things stand, and let's go right to the British Grand Prix.
You join us in the United Kingdom today, or Great Britain as it's alternatively known. Well, it's certainly a great day today as we welcome you to one of the crown jewels of British sports, a track of speed, history and drama. It's Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Golden Boy lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Albon, Sainz, Verstappen, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Bottas, Perez, Chadwick, Gasly, Stroll, Joe, Drugovich, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Sargent, De Vries, Deruvala, Magnussen, and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. gap to your teammate behind is 6.0 seconds. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Yellow flag. Someone's come off ahead of you, there's a yellow flag ahead. Okay, clear. confirmed will receive you at the end of this lap. Affirmative, medium tyres at the next stop. Understood, stopping this lap. Affirmative, medium tyres at the next stop. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Our gap to the car in front is 5.1 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 5.0 seconds. Okay, Jamie's in the pits. Jamie's in the pits now. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Fantastic stuff. Really well done. That's first. P1.
Plenty of action here at Silverstone, a memorable race and an impressive victory. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Let's see how the driver's standings have changed. Well, that lead at the top has somewhat shrunk today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I think for driver of the day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to every inch of his reputation today, and I think he'll be going home, quite rightly, a bit proud of himself.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
And that was the British Grand Prix. Unfortunately, cut short due to an engine failure in what's, I believe, is my first DNF in a very long time. I think since maybe Season 1, because I don't think I had a DNF in Season 2 that I can recall. At least one due to an engine failure. So, yeah, there we go. We ended up finishing all the way down in 21st place in front of Sergio Perez, who was the other engine failure in the race. Race was going pretty well, and we were probably on our way to winning until that happened, but I extended the race a little bit from the engine failure using a little trick I did in last year's game, mainly because I just wanted to see how the pit stop cycles shaked out. And honestly, I don't like driving Silverstone that much anyway, so if there's going to be an engine failure, I'm okay with it happening here. So Lando Norris wins the race. Interesting because he did, with how the strategy worked out, he was third in line of that pack that was battling with him and Russell and Albon. But, you know, he did pit later, but he had fresher tires by a lap or two, so I guess that gave him the advantage in the end. And how about our teammate, Jamie Chadwick? Not her best result of the year, because she did get a podium, I believe, back in Spain, I want to say. But a fourth place finish, incredible result for her in her home Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc. Valtteri Bottas, a great run in that Alfa Romeo for the 6th place result. Was it really in the top 10 the whole race? Carlos Sainz 7th, Max Verstappen gets some points in 8th, Yuki Tsunoda 9th, and Lance Stroll in 10th. So let's take a look at the separate standings here. Mercedes, with that 1-2, really take a commanding lead of the Constructors' Championship. 60 points ahead of Ferrari, 64 points ahead of Rockstar Energy Racing, even with Jamie Chadwick's strong result. Aston Martin sort of starting to pull away a little bit from McLaren for 4th. Red Bull starting to close in slowly on Alpine for 6th place. And Williams have yet to score. Championship standings, the gap from 1st to 2nd is now 18 points. Lando Norris, with that win, cuts the gap. George Russell, 23 points back in 3rd. Charles Leclerc is in 4th, 37 back. And Alex Albon is 5th, 44 points out of the lead. And Jamie Chadwick, with that result, pops back into the top 10 and back ahead of Max Verstappen. So there you go there. Fortunately, a British Grand Prix that was cut short. Still got cash. Completed all the goals to satisfy the sponsors there. So that's good.
Our running costs are significantly less than the income we're pulling in. I suggest we start looking for opportunities to spend that profit margin. All right. Yeah, at least I got the points this time for the mechanical fault. Simulator training for Chadwick. I want to check the season results here. So I did not have a DNF in Season 1, although I did have one 17th place finish in Belgium, though I think that was due to a flat tire. Season 2. So actually, that was the first DNF of any kind for me in this career mode, so the engine's been very reliable up to this point, but came up short that time. And it was the, as I look, the MGU-H that failed. And that was actually the extra one we'd taken when we took our grip penalties, or the extra one I took when I took my grip penalty. So that's interesting. And I'm not spending anything just yet, again, saving for the contract renewal for Jamie Chadwick. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching the British Grand Prix, and I'll see you next time for the French Grand Prix, and we'll see if I can bounce back.